I'm going to show you exactly how to write the perfect one-page resume so you can stand out from the crowd and get more job offers. This year, getting your resume noticed is even harder than ever. According to this Hootsuite article, every single second on LinkedIn, there are over 140 job applications submitted. That's over 8,000 applications per minute. And according to that same study, only about 6 people are getting hired off LinkedIn every minute, which gives us a 1 in 1,400 chance of getting hired. But don't worry, because standing out with your resume is easy if you follow the instructions I'm about to lay out for you. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a 10 out of 10 perfect one-page resume that is guaranteed to get an interview. So in this video, I'm going to be covering, should your resume be one page? What's the ideal format and layout for a one-page resume? How do I fit all of my great content into just one page? How do we optimize our one-page resumes for ATS scanners? And of course, at the end, I'm going to show you the perfect one-page ATS optimized resume template for this year. Also, at some point in the video, I'm going to be sharing a secret formula you can use to enter a contest to win a free resume review from me. And if you don't know me, I'm Greg Langstaff. I'm a certified resume strategist, and I am on an absolute mission to get as many people as possible into jobs they love. So thank you for watching this video, because even by watching this, you are helping me do exactly that. Now, should my resume be one page or two? Well, according to most popular research on the internet, hiring managers are only spending about 5 to 10 seconds reviewing our resumes before they decide if we are worth looking closer at or just throwing straight in the trash. So whether or not you are on one page or two, every single person needs a one-page resume mindset so that they can capture the attention of the person reading this resume and get them to actually consider you as a candidate seriously. So if we're going with one page or if we're going with two, the instructions in this video will be for you so we can maximize page one. Now, when a hiring manager is doing that initial 5 to 10 second scan of our resume, they are looking at a few things, including obviously our name, but also our branding and the key skills that we're laying out for them. They're also going to look at our job titles, the companies we've worked for, the dates, and probably the top bullet point under each job. So I'm going to talk to you very, very shortly about how to make all that stuff pop in your resume. So the first step in the process is picking a template or format to put our resume in. Now, when we're deciding on a great one-page resume format, we want to make sure we have plenty of room for things like professional branding, as you'll see here, here, and here. And then we also want to make sure we have enough room for 5 to 10 years of work experience with enough room for at least 3 to 4 bullet points per job. Now, these don't all have to be 2-line bullet points, but that's usually how long they end up being when I'm writing them for my clients. We also want to make sure we have room for any previous jobs that may be a little too far back to include details, and of course our education, training, certifications, those kinds of things all need to fit in this resume. Aside from that, when it comes to picking your resume template, we want to make sure it is nice and simple formatting so it's easy to follow and it's ATS compliant. And if you like the resume I just showed you, or any of my other resumes here, check the link below so you can see all the resume templates that I personally designed and recommend for you putting together a one-page or two-page resume. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Greg, I have so many great accomplishments. There's no way I could possibly fit all this into one page. And to that I say, I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. But I am still not going to let you put all of that on one page. However, we do want to make sure we're considering all of our great accomplishments when we're deciding what goes in. So, to solve that problem, let me introduce to you the Everything list. To create your Everything document, just open up a Google Doc that you can come back to whenever you need to update it, and write down literally everything you can think of related to each one of your jobs. You might have 20 bullet points per job, and then you can also write down any skills you want to show off, any projects that you've completed. We can deep dive into our technical skills, add additional education. We could go on and on. It does not matter how long this document is. This is to capture everything. Now, it's very likely at this point you have put together an 8-page document in your Everything list. Now, no one is going to want to read an 8-page document of all your greatest highlights except for maybe me, a total resume nerd, and your mommy. And if your mommy is the one hiring, guess what? We don't need a resume. But if it's not your mommy making the hiring decisions, we need to pare this down. Now this brings us to step 3 in the process, which is understanding what the hiring manager is looking for so that we can prioritize all that great stuff in our everything list and decide what is getting into our resume. This part is honestly super easy. All you have to do is open up the job description that you're applying to and take a close look for some very important things, because they have told us in that document, in that job description, exactly what they want to see in our resume. So we're gonna walk through the job description of the job that we're looking at, and we're just gonna highlight any relevant skills they mention. These could be things related to the work we're going to do, equipment we're going to use, industry terminology, any ways they're describing the employee that they want to hire. And you'll see here, we are doing a lot of highlighting. We want to capture literally everything that they might want to see in a resume. Then you're going to create a separate document and make a list of all these things so that we can cross-reference with that document when we start building our resume. Now I know there is still going to be a lot more relevant content that you could talk about than you could fit in one page. So for that, here are my rules on prioritizing which stories and accomplishments get into your one-page resume. Our first priority is going to be to tell them our most impressive stories about the skills that are most relevant to the job. So if we're applying to a sales job, we want to make sure our bullet points are focused on our sales accomplishments. Once we cover the most important skills, we can use our other bullet point space to tell them about experiences we have that are impressive and related to the less relevant skills that we found on the job posting. And finally, if you have a little bit of space left over after that, any other experiences that you've had that you feel are impressive, feel free to make bullet points out of those. Again, if there's any room left. Now, when you submit your resume, before it ever gets into the hands of a potential hiring manager, it is going to go through an ATS scanner. And that scanner is going to be looking for specific keywords. Now, how do we get enough keywords into a one-page resume that the ATS scanner will flag us as qualified? Enter the skills section. Now, here in the skills section, or areas of expertise as I like to call it, we can pump in all the keywords we found in the job description here, whether that's related to the work that we'll be doing, tasks we will be assigned, equipment we need to be able to use, industry terminology, or other key facets of the job. As many of those as we can speak to from our past experience or education, we'll want to throw them down here in the areas of expertise section. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of quick tips that'll help you fit more content into your resume. So first things first, we can go down as low as size 10 font on the resume, as you'll see here. The next thing I love to do is we can shrink the margins quite a bit. So these margins here, if you just sort of drag the ruler, we can go out to the side quite a bit, and same with this margin here, we can go up and down. And the last tip I have on fitting more, which I love because it's super sneaky, but it works so well, is if you highlight all the text in the resume and you hit this paragraph button, we can actually drop the line spacing down to single, and it's going to reduce the space between the lines, which will allow us to fit a few extra lines in the resume. Okay, I am about to show you the sample of the perfect 10 out of 10 resume. But before I do, let me tell you how you can enter for a chance to win a free resume review from me. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below how many pages is your resume right now. Be honest. Okay, you've waited long enough. Let me move my giant head out of the way and show you this perfect one-page resume. Here we go. You can see here we start off nice and big with our name. We're not shy about using some font size on the name. That's important. And we've got nice professional titles. This will bias the person into thinking we are very into whatever it is that we say here, so they know kind of our best skills. And that's actually going to help, even though it takes up some space, to put them in the mindset to assume we can do a lot of the things that the people who have these types of titles can do. Professional summary, nice and short, only needs to be 3 lines. This is a lot of great content in there. As I said, professional skills, again, a dumping ground for the keywords that we found when we were looking through the job posting. And I personally like to separate technical skills from professional skills where I can, as long as we have more than 2 or 3 of them. And then in the experience, this is where we really make some magic happen. We have nice little job overviews, and then the bullet points are just all high value content. We are absolutely wowing them with everything that we've done We're not putting in any run-of-the-mill generic bullet points. It's only stuff that's here to impress. And that is something you need to focus on if you're trying to keep your resume to just one page. Finally, we close out with our education, whether that's formal education, extra training. We've lumped that all into one section so that we can save ourselves a little bit of space. One final piece I want to show you, which I didn't put in that sample resume, but I added in the template just to show you how it looks. If we have a couple of older jobs like this down at the bottom, we can just mention them as line items. Not every job needs bullet points. And for an even more detailed rundown of how to build your bullet points, how to write a perfect resume, stand out and get hired, check out my free resume writing course here.